What's going on, all my movie goers? This is JC. Welcome to Jacey Flicks. Today, we're going to be reviewing the original Psycho film. All right. Now, before we do get started, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on videos I'm always uploading, reviewing new movies, film talk, updates, all those things. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the cast as well as the synopsis. All right. So Psycho stars Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, and Janet Leigh. All right, so the brief synopsis of this film, and before I do give you that, please note that this will be a spoiler-free review. All right, so let's go ahead. So the synopsis goes like this. Psycho tells the story of Marion Crane, who steals $40,000 from her employee. She leaves her home in Phoenix, Arizona, and ends up at the Bates Motel in Fairvale, California. The motel is run by mother-fixated Norman Bates, and the movie was directed by the legendary Alfred Hitchcock, and it was based off the book of the same name written by Robert Bloch, which in turn was loosely based on the true story of serial killer Ed Gein. All right, so before I do get started with my review as well, I wanted to also give you guys some background. So there's a reason why, out of nowhere, I am reviewing this film. All right, so I do live in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I was born and raised. And now, coincidentally, as of recently, they started showing Psycho at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Phoenix. Now, if you're watching this, you're unfamiliar with what the Orpheum Theater is. It's a staple in Phoenix. All right, it's a theater that's been around for years and years and years. And the reason why they started showing this at that theater is because just recently the city of Phoenix deemed December 11th Psycho Day in Phoenix, Arizona. Now, of course, if you have seen the film, and just as I've given you the synopsis, the film starts out in Phoenix, Arizona. And back when they shot it in, I believe, 1959, I know it was released in 1960, they did start off with some shots that were in Phoenix, Arizona, which is a cool little, small little tidbit on the history of Psycho when Alfred Hitchcock started filming it. Started off in Phoenix, Arizona, and the character of Marion Crane starts off in Phoenix, Arizona, which is really cool. So the governor got it signed off, so it is now proclaimed December 11th in Phoenix, Arizona. It's known as Psycho Day. So me and my best friend went to go see it. She had never seen it before, so we ended up watching it. It was a really cool experience for her to witness it and see it for her first time. I've seen it plenty of times. This is a film, since I was a kid, I not only knew that it was iconic, but even as I got older and started to watch it, dissect film, started to become more of a film critic and analyze films, all of the intricacies in directing, screenplay, writing, all those things, I started to notice how much of a great film it was. And not only has it been deemed as a classic by most moviegoers, it has a cult following, but also just in film in particular, it's been studied on multiple occasions. Alfred Hitchcock, prior to making this film, was just making a lot of crime thrillers, right? And he decided to go in a different route. And with that being said, he started to study a lot of Ed Gein. Now, if you guys have not checked out the film based off of Alfred Hitchcock's life, starring Anthony Hopkins, it's called Hitchcock. I definitely recommend you guys go see it. That's a pretty good film as well. But Psycho was just one of those films where, again, growing up, it was just tossed around by film goers, film enthusiasts just like myself, and it's been known as a classic. But I did want to, of course, review it on this channel because I thought it was a cool experience in Phoenix, Arizona, with them proclaiming December 11th being Psycho Day. So with that being some of the background, let's get into some of the positives, and then I'll give you guys some of the negatives as well as my review. So let's go ahead and start off with the positives. All right, so of course, I'm going to give you a lot of positives, but not only is the writing and the directing pretty much a masterclass in itself, but also even the plot and the way it plays out. Now, if you, again, have not seen the film, It takes a couple of turns, with the end even having a twist. And one of the turns is that the main character, as you're following her, you don't expect some of these things to happen that do happen. And then there's an investigation that takes place after. All right. And with that being said, like I've noted before, when I went with my best friend, she was wondering where the film was going to go. And some things that happen about an hour into the film, she was pretty surprised. She was like, wait, what happened? What just happened? So now who are we following? And that's when the film takes you more on a unpredictable ride. So you kind of don't expect some of those things to happen. If you ever seen the iconic scene of the stabbing in the shower, it's not a spoiler. But right after that takes place, it's like, where's the film kind of going? At the time, it was groundbreaking. It was one of those films that was not only suspenseful and scary, but a lot of people were surprised on how Hitchcock directed it and how the film just played out. The screenplay was also another reason to keep you intrigued throughout the film, right? Not only is the acting pretty on point, but of course, a little tidbit, if you guys did not know, but Janet Leigh is actually the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, who is the main protagonist in the Halloween films. Well, at least most of them, especially the original first two Halloween films. Not only that, but Anthony Perkins plays Norman Bates really, really well. And the acting is just pretty much good all across, as well as the dialogue. Even if you have any questions throughout the film, it is answered at the end after the twist by one of the characters really well. As far as the negatives, honestly, you guys, maybe one small nitpick is that over the years, the production sometimes doesn't hold up as well with certain scenes. But the time being, I think Hitchcock did the best that he could, and it's what they had at the time. Obviously, horror and slashers have really excelled since then, with production value, with what they show, all those things, right? It's a lot different nowadays, but that's a small little nitpick, and that's just to my general audience, even film goers themselves, that it may not hold up as well when you watch it. Even there's some small little moments where you might kind of chuckle or whatnot. That's just because, like I said, at that time, they did the best that they could. But other than that, you guys, this is a masterclass in itself of directing as well as the screenplay. And I highly, highly recommend it. So, of course, I'm going to give Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho a 5 out of 5. And this gets the stamp of approval of Jacey Flames approved. All right, guys. So again, I know it's been years and years, but if you have not seen the classic film of Psycho, I highly recommend you guys go do it. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see any other movie reviews, me review any kind of films that are your favorite, even in horror, even as slashers, any of those. Let me know. I'm going to start giving you guys more movie reviews as well as film talk. I'm going to try to give you guys more updates as well. Follow me as well on Jacey Flicks, at Jacey Flicks on everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those things, right? And I'm going to constantly give you guys updates. Before I do go, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. All right. My name's JC from Jacey Flicks. Until next time, JC out.